Oh, Kittler. I'm just throwing everything around right now. Oh, I need to turn my music down. It's too loud. One second. Spotify is being weird again. Oh, I don't always understand what it does. It's very it's very intimidating sometimes. Splash of purple. I've been feline guilty for not being around. How are you? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Are you gonna work? Seriously? Seriously, Stream Deck, you're supposed to work. Oh, I swear sometimes. Why do mathematicians hate the US? Because it's indivisible. Just for you. Just for you, Cutler. I got a dad joke. All right. So I am preparing. We prepare. And I've got black lines, so I know I stay in frame. Very professional now. Very, very chic. Black is mixed. Rich indigo is mixed. I don't want black indigo. I want a purple. That's what I want. Necromancer purple. We'll be just fine. Oh, I did make the post for the I'll find the words in a second. Give me a second. The mouse links. All right. So, yeah. Take a sip of water. Let's go ahead and just turn that off. And we'll push the go live button. Yay! In multi-cat households, cats of the opposite sex usually get along better. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for that piece of information, Siri bot. Another streamer took a little bit of pity on me and gave me a recommendation. No. No, I have one that is that is more than enough for me. She is currently protesting her wet food. As well. Which I find to be rather annoying. Because, you know, it's kind of a nice treat for her to have wet food, but if she's going to protest the wet food, then I can take it away for a while and see if that helps make her a little less protesty of it. So. But how have you been, Kittler? Surviving the days, I assume. Oh, shit. Very cat punny today. Very cat puns today. 1 second. Full expenditure. Why is adding your name so complicated sometimes? Here it is. Why don't you chat cat that up and see what's different? Um, it's really weird that they wrote their company name in the cap. But they did not. But the company name inside this cap is not the company of the bottle. This bottle is from Turbo Dork. The name in the cap is chubbygorilla.com. Currently, right now, Kittler, I need 3 average viewers over 50 some odd hours, and I will have the rank of a affiliate, I believe. Also, I enabled that. I saw another streamer that had it. That other streamer was Grumpy Crane Studios. I really liked it because every so often it was nice to look over at chat and see that the bot was reminding us that we're all doing the best we can. So I copied it. because I can. So I now have access to roles, and I can assign roles to people to be VIPs and the such. So we're on our way. We're on our way. And that reminds me, it's about time that I'm due to rewatch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That might need to be a movie night soon. So, where I had been previously, I was working on my BAS miniatures, and I literally smacked up against a wall with it. Um, so what we're going to do tonight, move the camera forward just a little bit. So my box represents where I'm painting. We're going to paint up our bases. We're going to call them done because I don't think I have the mental bricks to finish them or take them any further than what they currently are. And I might have used too much thinning medium in the paint. But that's okay, because I kind of do like it when it's a little splotchy on the base for these guys, since they're kind of board gaming on the tiles. But I am going to switch brushes. My number 3 is way too small for what I want to do. So, but things are going just fine. Someone has been trying to chew on this brush. Oh, I need to move my mouse around and check on the YouTube streams. I have been making active posts on that too. As normal, it's complaining about bitrate being lower than normal, but everything's set up just the same. I know it works because I could hear myself talking when I had the volume up before. So we are good to go. Yes. Still streaming on Twitch. So I've got the Twitch stream and I've got the YouTube streams up and running as well. Trying to see what happens. I have shorts going up on YouTube on a weekly basis. I have videos pre-recorded and ready to go. I just need to, on Tuesday night, post them. So when I make a Instagram post, it tends to coincide with the real post as well, or a short post. I do need to get in the habit of making more posts on YouTube, just general buffoonery. Just to try to see what categories kind of pop off, because I've had one person stop in for a while, and that's it. But then again, the shorts aren't kicking in either, so I've had one person comment on the short. The first one had 80 some views, and then the next two had about 8 total. So, no, we're not playing this game tonight, sweetie. No, 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 no. Down. Down, down, down. Down. All the way. Down. 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 Pretty please down. You're okay. So it kind of is. So Tuesday nights when I take my rest from the streaming platforms and painting, that's usually what I do. Tuesday night is edit and process, and then Thursday night's usually edit and process. Tuesday night's just be creative and write down different thoughts that I have for things, and I have enough of it built up, actually, record it and produce it. It's a good way to keep my hands busy and stay busy without, using a paintbrush, and it gets to scratch the itch of the brain of being creative without having to be in front of something. And it keeps me from keeping the TV on, so that's really the benefit of it all. So, but other than that, everything's been okay. Made minor tweaks here and there to the stream. Improved the audio quality a great deal, apparently. I didn't realize how bad it was until someone said, "Rah, it's like 1,000 times better now." It's like, okay, thank you. I 100% agree with you on that. Problem is that I get stuck, or what ends up happening is I get sidetracked on something, or I get so engrossed in watching whatever's currently on the TV that I forget to do work, or I forget to do other things. So it's easy to have Twitch up with, lurking in other people's streams, hanging out with them, or chatting with them about different things, because it's easy and I don't need to be fully paying attention. Like I was watching a little bit of Lord Hoyle's stream, who's a SMW Kaizo player, and later he's going to do no, I do not. My itch is really just trying to keep up with what's going on creatively. and what everybody's working on and seeing what's going on that way. You know. So those were the side units. But I kind of like how my Ivy turned out, to be honest with you. Let me push the focus button. All right, did the app? Okay, there's the app. Let me turn the exposures up. But you can kind of see she turned out pretty nice. I think she turns out pretty true to the comic book, along with the other villainous or misunderstood anti-heroes, I guess you could say. I was doing a long stream with Battle Ready and Layden, and I was working on those Venus flytraps, and I'm like, I can't do this crap anymore. I did quite a bit of work on some of the Harley and Ivy and Batgirl off stream, and I'm just like, I just need to call these ladies done. I was watching a little bit of like Spelling Mistake. There's someone fun that I like to watch now during the workday just because I need the positivity. Watching Grumpy Crane. It's really nice along with Zombie Sashimi. It's really interesting to see what they're working on and what they're painting. I'm not going to be a Warhammer painter, but it's interesting watching them paint and being able to ask and talk about different color choices and things like that. So there's Harley. I really do feel like she pops out to be almost not fully accurate to the comic book, but she is pretty close to it. I think she has a lot of the representation complete, and I just need to call them done. So yeah, kind of how my days have been going. Just kind of quietly humming along. Got quite a bit of work things done, but don't want to deal with work things. I mean, if work is slow again tomorrow, I might continue working on the orcs that I started and seeing if I can figure out a pattern that's not going to make me want to chunk them all out the window. And I would consider being into that show. No, they do not make me work weekends. I worked one weekend because we were trying to get a project upgraded, and that was it. I have not worked a weekend aside from that in probably 8 to 10 months. Simply because it doesn't benefit anybody but them, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit anymore. Disappear for a while and enjoy an early weekend or a haircut, having people chat. So okay, you say everything is excellent, but yet you randomly stall out and stop. Do not understand you, YouTube. Do not understand. Mm-hmm. Um, so it's kind of how things are going right now. But um, work's just like in this really weird, quiet state where we're waiting on things to like explode and get busy again. And it's like, okay. So I guess since I'm waiting, I'm just going to hang out over here. So, I mean, I can always take my well palette with me and take a couple of the orcs or take one orc and figure out what I want to do for this pattern. Because I don't like what I'm doing with these guys. I like the overall scheme that I started with, but I think instead of doing uh, um, instead of doing what I'm doing with the colors that I'm using, I think I'm going to go to true metallics and rock those out and try to get dry brushing and stippling and washes and shades going on these guys. I I can't do I personally. Oh, SiriBot deleted them instantly and banned it. She's a good bot, or they're a good bot. But I might work on those guys during the day while hang out with Grumpy and let in their streams or zombie streams and chat with those guys and see what's going on. Because I mean, there's nothing for me to do right now. So if there's nothing for me to do, I might as well get paid for pooping on company time. I imagine I have quite a bit of things to do on Monday though, since I took Friday off and burned a floating holiday. But Grumpy Crane recommended that bot to me, and I have enjoyed it immensely. If I ever get ads rolling on the stream, it will actually warn you when ads are going to happen and why they happen. So, but I don't know if you've seen little baby Kraken that I started in the color red. I was working on him a little bit last night after I accidentally had a boo boo with Miniko. So. But everything's going to be fun. Yeah, and that bot actually gives us. Hey, there it works. I got an A on my origami assignment when I turned my paper into my teacher. Yeah. Dad jokes. Someone should not give me access to the spot. It is only recipes for disasters. Yeah. There we go. Get that guy going. Get that guy going. So. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. If it isn't zombie sashimi, that fun guy is about saying saying hello from the rising sun. It's good to see you too, zombie. I look forward to it. Well, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, hold on. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. So am I your morning entertainment while you sip your tea, just like I enjoy my coffee when you're live? And thank you for the follow, zombie. These guys are going to be done. I cannot work on them anymore. All I need to do is get my rich indigo on the bases here, and then literally splotch into. Welcome in. I don't have as interesting music as you do, unfortunately. I do enjoy your musical taste. However, the lo-fi tends to be my jam sometimes. That and classic rock, but classic rock tends to be an acquired taste sometimes, as odd as it is. Or my opinions of what some people consider the top 50 are wildly different, but that's supposed to be the way it is. And I really don't want to take the time to create a playlist. Yeah. Um, there was a. I have found as I started to age that I don't do music as well as I once did. Because either I'll start singing along with it, get entranced by the music, or I will go off the rails. Sometimes I sensory overload myself, and when I sensory overload myself, it turns into a I should probably put stuff down conversation. So I frequently prefer the lo-fi because I will not sing the song all the time or try to think of lyrics to go to the song. Are you going to continue work on your Blood Bowl team? But I really enjoy that. The choice of skin tone that you're going with on those guys. I think it's kind of interesting the way that it's working out. Because I try to do undead skin and it does not look, or that needs more water. I'll tell that right now. So, because I know he's accessible. Oh. I was working with this guy, and I don't like the way that his skin tone had played out. I was trying to play too much into this undead skin tone from, don't even ask me, Snake. Uh, it did not work out the way that I wanted it to, and it came out more brown than kind of ghouly that I wanted it. And she's hanging out down there, by the way. Oh, that's what I wanted. Doc needs more water. Or thinning agent, really, is what I want. I need to put in something close to what I did on this base. I want them just to be slightly different. So my Batman figure has like a purplish tone on the underside. Whoops. You don't have to hit the camera every time you do something, dude. It is A-okay. Thanks. I painted him years ago. Probably a year ago. I enjoy Batman, the animated series. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid. So when the Kickstarter came around, I really wanted to pick it up and paint them. Because, you know, I got 2 really big boxes of this junk. Or not junk, but these figures. So I've got Babs. I got Harl, Poison Ivy. Harley Quinn. And Catwoman. To add to my box of completedness, I need to get my black rims on them, and then I'm going to switch over to the little cutie patootie dragon and probably work on drawing green lines in between his scales to help the copper effects. Hello. What's up, nerd? Yeah, I know I'm doing work right now. Yeah. It was oi, oi, oi. Hey, nerd, nerd. Sweetie, I love you to death. But you're in the wrong place right now. Come on. Okay, okay. You want to hang out on my shoulder? Hang out on my shoulder. No, you don't. Peace out. Deuces. So there was some shenanigans that went on with it during the Kickstarter phase because the artwork was too close to the original. So I had to change a few things up, but it is still very much in line and true. She has been fed. Yesterday I filled in her torture device or her cat treat toy. And she had access to it for an unlimited amount of time and decided that she did not want to get the cat treats out of the puzzle. This is a Studio Ghibli playlist. It's Path of the Wind, but yes, you are correct, Totoro. It's a Ghibli lo-fi. I was reminded of it with a former partner that Studio Ghibli existed, and it was a great studio. So we would frequently listen to this playlist. The playlist stayed, the partner did not, so. I like listening to it because it's nice and unwinding. Yeah. At some point, there's going to be a rock lo-fi playlist that comes out that I'm slightly interested in, just because it's. What I find is that if I have to push a skip button while I'm listening to music, it's not a good playlist for me to be listening to. I want it to be somewhat backgroundish or relaxing, and you know that it's always going to be okay. I want some purple tones so it matches the game board, and I will give it a black rim afterwards. I don't like these guys because it's going to mess with my Getting the rim nice and black. Oh. But yeah, I'm going to get back to this guy afterwards and work on getting some green in between his scales so he can look a little bit more coppery. Down around this paw, I've got some green in there so it can be a little bit more greeny or a little bit more coppery. Which, you know, what better to do than draw some lines on some miniatures and go from there. But Kettler's feeling rather catty today, so I welcome this. Oh, you haven't seen where Cat's at, Kettler, in a while. Unless you've been keeping up on Discord. I'm probably going to have a long Friday stream and consider wrapping her up, or wrapping up her base and gluing them all together. And then doing one more Friday stream after that to putz it all together. Everybody does. Everybody's really commented on liking her, the teal skirt and green skirt that I went with, along with the, I forget what Grumpy called the front piece, the tabard. The tabard. That, I forget what Grumpy called the tabard. It's the tabard. Derp derp derp. But she's come along a nice ways, and I think once I get her together with the base, it will tell a lot better story. I still have to paint the up sign that goes with her and do it in the same way as the POW. But I want to finish these ladies, finish the orcs. I figure out a scheme that I want to use on them tomorrow during work or during the day, I might have a Monday night stream for them and go from there. Or I might start something new. We'll see. I can be extremely fluid, but I think for next month, I am for sure going to paint a non-group. I don't know what it was about this group, but they sucked my energy. And they're so easy. They're so easy, but yet they just like they drew my energy away from me. Like every time I pick them up, I'm like, ugh. I do need to go through my slideshow and finish and update it for my current stuff. I think this Tuesday, I'm probably going to drop the Belmonth finished pictures on Instagram and the short that goes along with it. What you doing, nerd? Well, what's up? Oh, all right. Hello. Do you want to say hello to everybody? You okay? What happened? Your window is open and everything. Your window is open and everything, sweetie. I am present. My cat is just here. What's up? Are you upset that we didn't take a nap together today? I know you had your red dot time. I did make sure your toy was turned on for that. Oh, yes. Hello. Okay. All right. Once again, you're in between me and the objects that I want to be working on. I don't mind when you're hanging out with me, but I do mind when you're interrupting me and you're itching your face like that. You know you get your big treat later tonight. I'm gonna have to move you away. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Here. There you go. Yeah, back there in that corner, you can see the big box of animated series that I got. I may set aside time and do a little bit of a soul search and see if I just want to suffer through it and push to finish them, or if I just want to um, continue down the path that I am. I think the path that I am is going to be my preferred route, simply because I am being successful, but I'm also getting to the point where all that's left painting are the singleton versions of things. I believe I've painted all of the groups out of the box, so I don't have to worry about them too much. And now we put the nice satisfying black rim around the base. And this is the time that I wish I had all of the brand new Red Grass game caps and not the ones that I have had since Kickstarter version 1. They have definitely seen some paint. We're going to do the 3 Venus flytraps later. I want to stay focused on what I've got. Oh, Kittler, do you like the little PNG tuber that turns red when I talk here and there? Yeah. So it's animated, and then when I'm speaking, it turns red and just holds red. Um, in its idle form, it just scrolls painty paint paints, and then when it goes, well, the text specifically, I probably need to make it a little bit louder of a change, but I did it in like a handful of minutes. Like I saw someone streaming with it. I think it was Taco Food Trucks, and Grumpy Crane has one as well. And I decided that it would be a good idea to do it because it's a fun way to have interactive things on screen. And it's really easy. Yeah. All right. One last one to do, and we get back to our cutie patootie that wants to sell us some insurance. Or a spot in the vault. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. A copper dragon that is curious about saving humanity. Or really holding on to a dice and making sure that we roll well. That's really what their job is. Eine Moment bitte, ja. I need to clean up. I need to get my box. So I have a little box that I put all my completed miniatures in. So when I go to airbrush them and put my clear coat on them, they are all contained in one location for me. I can put my paint up, because that's always a satisfying feeling. Indigo gets put up, Necromancer Purple gets put up, Solid Black gets put up, and we grab Viridian Grim. So, my system, I switched it up. At one point, I had swung by the danger place of the Container Store here in the States. I'm sure you have something there in Japan as well, where they have a bunch of little boxes for everything, or you can get a bunch of boxes for everything under the sun. Excuse me as I shake the mics around. And I acquired a bunch of these clear pens that sit on shelves. I was like, oh, this is really great. I can put all the paints that I'm using for the miniature in the box, right? At one point when I was looking at the Harley, the Gotham trio that I had filled this entire box full of paints, and I go, this was a bad idea. Immediately, this was a bad idea. So I got away from that, and I keep them. I put them up every day, which seems like more hassle than it's worth, but it helps me because I don't have to remember where something's at, and everything's put back in its place. Which, to what you were talking about on stream one day, is exactly what Mr. Savage was getting at, is that when you put a tool or a project away in a place that you cannot see it, you put it away to forget about it. I technically have one downstairs. I have several I have several cases from Reaper Miniatures when I bought different types of paints or different paint sets over the years from them that I have used. There's a hard shell case in there for like alcoholic inks or alcohol inks because they were about the same size as the Reaper miniature bottles um, that I used for a really long time. And I just decided I I don't like them being put away or hidden or out of arm's reach. And when I redid my office up here, I made sure that my paint is clearly on display at all times. If I'm not going to use it, I literally put it in a box and it stays there. I know that it exists, but I do not need to actively reach for it. Because I don't use a lot of washes or speed paints anymore. Exactly, zombie. Painty plaints. One of the changes I made this morning, I had to go by the Dollar Tree anyway, and they sell pre-cut parchment paper pads. That's something closer to a cookie tray, but it's really close to the size of my wet palette, and I just have to cut it down. Yeah. Oh, plenty planes with a plethora of plenty planes. Yeah, that's about the plaintiff of it. That's about the plaintiff of it. But I mean, I'm sure you've run across it too, zombie. Is that you've acquired so much over the years? It's not that you forgot that you had it. It's just you accidentally put it away somewhere, and you once you put it away, it goes out of sight, out of mind. And my paint racks are starting to organize themselves in paints that I frequently use versus what I don't use more frequently. I switched, so I backed the Cobalt Keep paint rack system. Yep. Uh, I can pick this up and set it back. So I set up. Cobalt Keep made these racks at one point that you could get, and they're supposed to sit at the backside of your desk, but I find them to be out of reach. Yeah, but I was going for something similar because I wanted to keep them in sight at all times. But the paint racks for uh, in case I make flubs, I do want some of my cherry wood and sunray. Yeah, that I 100% understand because I switched to the nail rack polishes or nail polish racks, I guess you would say. Yeah, they do work well. And as time comes on and changes, all right. What's up, nerd? Hi. All right. Well, I'm just mixing up my paint to get it ready. I need a nice thin paint. Yeah. Hello. This is my brush. You will not play with it. This is mine. Can I convince you in a trade? Can I trade you this? Would you be interested in this pen? I have used the pen and I have touched it. Go get it. Protect me from the pen. Thank you. She has been super active today. Or active this afternoon, really. All right. So I want to get started on his face. And I want to start pushing in my green color. You can't just do one or two scales, goofball. You have to do many of them. And then once you do many of them, you compare the right and left sides together. Also, don't fight your brush. Let your brush work with you. It tends to help. All right. Keep going. Glaze in a little bit more. And don't always hold his paw. Bum, 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 ba, da, 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 da. I might have thinned it too much. Right idea, wrong execution. What? A little bit more of what I was expecting to have happen. Your result is within expected parameters, sir. What? What do you mean Timmy fell down the well? What? There we go. We got some definite separation there, and I need to do it down there. I know. That's what's so concerning. So one morning, she's going crazy. Crazier than she is now. She's really excited. She's just super vocal, super loud. I'm like unsure what's going on. I'm just concerned, and I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on? Finally, like I run, she's like running to the kitchen, or not the kitchen, but she's running to the dining room where I eat breakfast. And all of a sudden, she's like jumping on the back of a chair. She's like meowing aggressively at the window. And I'm like, what is going on? I look out in the direction that she shows me, or she's pointing towards, and I see a litter of kittens across the way in my neighbor's backyard. I go, oh, that's why you've been so feisty and frisky trying to tell me about them, just because you want to go out and play with the other kittens. Me not knowing, or me unsure if I've seen them in like the last couple of weeks, or if they know. Because my neighbors can be weird recluses sometimes. Or they could be off in Taiwan. I'm never sure where. So I text my other neighbor. I said, hey, by the way, are they in town? There's a litter of kittens literally in their backyard, living underneath their shed. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I just don't want an explosion. Welcome in, social alien. Welcome in. Glad to see you again. You okay there, nerd? You okay? Oh my god. She is. Alright, you're gonna knock that off and you're gonna scare yourself. Alright, calm down. Calm down. You're gonna knock that off. Yep. Here you go. You wanna try this? You wanna try this? Try that. Try that. Sorry. Uh, so she's pecking at a treat toy right now. She has to solve the puzzle to get the treats. It might keep her attention for a little bit. It is a small world. Social Alien came in after I found your stream, zombie, and hung out with your crew. They came by and hung out with me for a little bit one night. Um, so she's been protesting her wet food, Social Alien, and has not been eating it as aggressively as I thought she would, or as she has been. So I bought some new stuff today. And what does she do? She tries to inhale it so fast that she starts to make herself sick. They are literally the best. Literally the best. Also, since Social Alien's been back by, I have corrected my mic. Because apparently it was really bad. So I do have an elevated food dish for her. I got one of those posture dishes to kind of help with the whisker fatigue. So she's inclined to eat. But I don't know what it was, but something about it just made her kind of do that sound you never want to hear your pet sounds. Which is the whoop, whoop. It's like, oh, thank you. Which, immediately made me put my fork down and check out to see what she's eating or see what's going on. I'm like, are you okay? Because she's not had a sensitive stomach with whatever I've given her for food. From treats to wet food to dry food. She's never had really a sensitive stomach, so tells me she was trying to eat it too fast. I'm like, well, son of a biscuit. Now you're not going to eat that food. So I'll try a new one. And then I'll need to take the mess of wet food that you've protested not eating to a shelter somewhere and donate it. So the green is making a bit of a difference between the two sides. I am on the right path. It's not quite the same bone level as others that I know, but I enjoy the bone pattern that I get going on this. She finds it relatively well, so I put it next to an end table that she can. So when I first got it, and when I, had her gotcha date and all that stuff, I put it. So you know how they have like the front piece of it's like recessed down so they can get to it easier and they don't have to like reach over something to get to their food. I had it one way. She did not like it that way because she liked to sit. She liked to be covered up when she was eating, and she likes to hide underneath one of the tables or the end table. It's like, okay, fine, here you go. So I turn it around for her. And then she eats from the other side. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious, child of mine? I cannot win with you. So she enjoys it a decent amount. She tolerates the water fountains that I get her too. I did pick up one of the kitty spout ones, but I don't know how I feel about it. And that guy emails the ever living crap out of me too much. So we will see. I am just trying to push in some more green in between the scales for separation. The more contrast sometimes helps hide my mistakes. Well, not really my mistakes, but helps darken it up and bring my lights up quite a bit. And this is rather relaxing because I get to talk about my cat with others and find out that she is the tortie that I expect her to be. And she's just hanging out down there at the bottom side of the camera, staring out the window, making sure I'm safe. Hey, no, 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 down, 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 all the way. Thank you. Thank you. I'll let you hang out right there. You can hang out there all day. I'm A-okay with that. I promise I'm A-okay with that. Yeah. I don't know where she wants to go right now. I should be putting a glove on this hand if I'm going to touch this miniature. While I enjoy the Chimera paint range sometimes, I really hate the Chimera paint range at the same time. Sometimes it's a little too finicky for my likes. I did that paw already. Don't focus on that paw. We did that piece. We did that piece. We did that half of the head. We did that piece. We need to come down here. At some point, we'll get his whip colored up. Heavy body acrylic. So I've been in between the ideas of swapping out paints, but then I look at my collection. I go, don't do that. I'm interested to see. I know a lot of people that really enjoy the heavy body acrylics. My complaint about the Chimera range is primarily that it tends to rub off too easily. If you accidentally overhandle the figure. So I try to remember to always wear a glove when I'm working on like the larger bust. I don't have access to a painting handle like this. But I'm curious to see how they work out for you. Because the heavy body acrylics are much nicer for wet blending, in my opinion, than trying to work with a pre-thinned paint. Oh yeah. 1 second, I forgot to do that. Or I forget. Belmont, nope. Dragon Holder. Oh, it was Cold Yellow, not Sunray. Whoops. Oh. Guess who left the closet door open? I did. And then his jacket was phthalo blue. And silver gray. Sorry. That's how I keep notes about what I'm working with. Using a watercolor notebook. So I remember the blends. I didn't mean to grab Sunray. I should have grabbed Cold Yellow. Oopsie. Oopsie. when I remember zombie, or when I'm working on larger pieces, I find it easier to keep track of how I got to the mixes that I got. for like the uh, so for that Witch's Apprentice, those were all the colors that I ended up using for her. For my Geisha Girl, trying to get to where I wanted for the pink and the kimono for the red to the white and all that stuff. That tends to be where I need it more than anything. But as I'm trying to experiment more with like sticking in the non-metallic ranges of paints and trying to do more non-metallic by hand, I still have not figured out my blend that I personally want to use for metallics, because I don't like the Chimera range guide, and from Painting Big has one for her, but I don't like it either. It's just not jiving with me. So I tend to be extremely freeform when it comes to that. And as I find things that I like, I want to keep recipes down. So for like the bone pieces of him, it's similar to what I did on the Belmonth model. And I started with a grime and kiwi brown as a base coat, and then worked my way up to a bone khaki color. But I wrote all that down, and everybody that sees that model really likes the bone aspect of it. So I guess I figured out what I want to do for bone personally. And eventually what I'll do is I'll copy out those pages and keep them handy for myself as time goes on. As time goes on. But you can see how much of a difference it makes between like his leg there and the tail. Having that little bit of green in there really does help. Really does help. But for his scales, it was just cherry wood and cold yellow, essentially blending together till I got to a cold yellow color. You know, working thins over many, 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 many layers. But I forgot to write down the brown that I used for the whip. Forgot to write down what that brown was like. Oh shit. I don't remember if it was a color that I mixed or if that's kiwi brown. I think it's kiwi brown, but I don't remember. I mean, it's not the first time I've repainted something completely on stream, but it's like, son of a biscuit. I like to try to be as efficient with my hobby time as I can, because, you know, during the week I only have about 2 hours a night. I mean, I used to do just an hour, um, but sometimes an hour wasn't enough to get going. So when I started the stream again, I decided to go for 2 hours at a minimum. I do too. I eyeball it all the time, and every time I forget. Or I'll start something and be like, man, that's really good. And I'm like, oh, shoot, what did I do? His red skin, I really like how it worked out and kind of the gradients I got going with it. I think once I get the rest of it kind of colored in, he's gonna be a fun little baby Kraken. That definitely did not lie on his resume. But I think for me, I think a hobby goal that I have this year is try to get better with my skin tones, get my blends in there a lot better for the larger pieces, um, and just slowly focus on one or two things. I think the other goal is to get a little bit better with my basing. Go. He's definitely looking like he's ready for the take on the world. So with the Belmont bust that I painted, I was I was following the guide that's in the art book for Tenbray from Chimera Models, and they talked about doing the green OSL for it and some aspects. And I looked at it and I was like, nope, ain't doing it. I'm too scared of that. It's well, I'm not too scared of it. It's just I don't like it as much as most people do. I believe there was a guy in chat one day that was telling me how great it was, and I'm like, I understand, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with it. I don't. I really don't. Um, I think that isn't with the right piece. OSL can really enhance a piece a great deal. But I don't know if I'm that kind of painter just yet, to be honest. Like I'm sure like everything that we do, the first time we do something is always going to be terrible. But the second and third times that we do it, or the more frequent that we do it, the better it becomes over time. It's just breaking that mental hurdle. And I'm trying to ponder what I want to do for his wings. I might do a Caucasian skin tone with it to get my leathery wings in there. All right. Let's get your noggin, sir. Because I've got a number of pieces that could be good for OSL or object source lighting discussion. I want to put it into a diorama and help a story. See, if I was doing a diorama and I was going to do something like that, that would be fun. And it's really just because I'm what I know of it and my limited understanding of all of this sometimes is that essentially you still paint everything that like you would. You just start to add in the flare of hue that you want. Um, 52 was did a whole video about it because he was talking about his learning experiences of OSL because he was doing box art for something. He somehow he got into doing a box art gig with somebody, or he got into some Kickstart thing. I can't remember what, but he had an interesting video about picking the reds and blues and how you shoot from different directions. Like essentially he built the figure the way that he wanted it to be standing, and then to start his value sketch, I guess you would call, he photographed from the two different aspects of it. So like he put a really bright red light here for the fire source and a really cold blue light pointing down this way to kind of get an idea of what he was looking at. I was like, okay, that's good. Not it right now. It's an interesting video, but I'm like, not it. Not it. Yeah. I've done that sometimes. Kind of did that with, well, I do it with Maniko, and I did it with the Belmonth bust, as I would force in use my phone's gray filter to see what needed more contrast. So, come here, phone. Let's not be that screwy right now, please. Camera. Go to my gallery really quick. So if I go to the edit of that guy, and I go to filters, nope, nope, nope. And go like under the black and white. You can see, you can pick out the lines of the scales and it's there. Discard to the left. Yep. Whoa, calm down, phone. Phone. I want you to go to black and white, please. Thank you. But then we get to see the difference that he makes there. There we go. Thank you, phone. And how much just that green line helps make that contrast. I use that trick a lot. I need to do some more work on his bones, on his horns. That's definitely what that's showing me right there. Oh, I was at a convention, or I was at a convention. It was a COVID convention for a Reaper, and someone had talked about using the grayscale filters on your phones to help build your contrast for discussions. Yeah. Yeah. I have two lights. Oh, is the possum outside? She's doing her, I'm going to run a million miles right now. But yeah, so my bones are looking a little flat for the horns. Needs a little bit more contrast. It's definitely going to need some more contrast. And I know it was kiwi brown now because that's the brown I was using for the horns. Yay, I do remember things. Yeah. Or it's what some people say is don't focus so much on building contrast and perfect blends because the eye of the other person will help you fulfill that. Like the brain kind of helps create the transition in your head. You literally bought this pink stick to try to help mix your paint so you don't accidentally break the bristles of your brush. Get in the habit of using it. And I hope your Monday is exceptionally well, Zombie. I know you've been having a rough go of it some days. No, well, shenanigans. The one time that I get to be positive about a Monday, I swear, the best laid intentions. The best laid intentions. But that's all good. I do have to work on Monday. I don't want to work on Monday. I want to do the anti work. Okay. It's okay. It's okay, Zombie. We will find other ways. I'm sure there's a Tuesday or a Thursday where I'll get to pop in and wish you had a good day. Some of these skulls. Use your tool. Use your tool. Come on. There you go. Got a little chunky over there while I was waiting to be used. Let's say okay. Thank you, Stream Elements. You're doing so good. I might turn down the bot timers on some things. You were so active today because Zombie was in chat chatting with me along with Kittler. And Siri bot did a good job. Mm-hmm. I want to touch up underneath his ear a little bit right there. It's not perfect. Doesn't need to be, but I do want to try. I made the paint mixer go vroom vroom, and it didn't squirt out any of the paint. Good job, me. There we go. Some of my cold yellow. You have an entire mixing stick, and you choose to forget. You focus on one area at a time, it tends to help. It tends to help. Oh, I'm sorry, Kettler. I forgot to post a photo of the finished pork belly in chat. Whoops, I'm sorry. Boom, 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 boom. And while you've got time, you can start asking yourself how you want to tackle these wings. Because you do need to highlight up the ribs this way. But how do I get a leathery wing to pop up? I could use some Gold 79 and Caucasian skin, but I don't know if that's going to be quite right for me. I want it to be kind of a grace. I want it to be leathery. I don't know how I want to get to my leathery rib. Leatherly. Don't know how I want to get to my leatherly web. That is between your two. I'm pretty sure I do want to use Caucasian skin because it'll give it the warmth of life. Wow. Allowing me to add in a brown color to make it leather-ish. Because I could always start with a pink skin or a fuchsia skin and then work up from that. I'm talking about this piece right here, the triangle. I am making things up as I go sometimes. With the webbing in between, I can trade, or the part that's supposed to be the same scale as the dragon can be. I highlight that up the same way I highlight that up. I mean, mean. So I've got this Dorgan, which I did some kind of brown and then kind of a wash underneath. I don't like that as much. My other dragons are kind of hidden somewhere right now, and I'm not moving the Velcro. But you're not wrong, zombie. You're not wrong. I agree with you 100%. I feel like we should always be making it up as we go. Because the cherry wood is a really nice red, red brown, which could. Now I gotta try it. I'm gonna try it. 1 second. That's no, that's what it is. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about using golden and Caucasian and going up that way. Was the other way I was thinking about going. Nope. That should be enough for what I need tonight. Dear air bubble in the middle of my wet palette, why do you plague me so? What is your need and attention? What did I ever do to you to make you want to bubble up like this? Pourquoi what? Will you tell me? I do not understand. I don't think that's going to be the colors that I want. Nope. I can already tell it's not right. Comes too orangey. I can already tell that's not right. That does not sit in my brain the way I wanted it to sit. So we will go back to the drawing board on that one. That might be Monday night's goal. We'll see. Or, like I was saying earlier, if I get my works figured out how I want to finish those batch. Oh, words are hard. How do I speak? English, why do you escape me? I know why. It's because zombies here. And I'm okay with that. I mean, it gets I'll be honest. This is one of the parts of when I started streaming. I started somewhere in the back of my brain. I felt like I was going to struggle with consistently. But you shouldn't make it a. You should not let it fears you, and you should control your fear and not let it have a name. Yeah, I don't like the way that that's going to turn out. It's not going to be the right kind of leather. I think I'm going to have to go with a different brown. It's okay. A-okay. Because that's going to be too. It's going to be too something. That's for dang sure. If you're wondering why his wings are attached, it's because that's how he was cast. I did not glue them on. He came that way. So it definitely did help me in the regards of working aspects, just from the instructional writing aspects. Like I feel like it did anyway. I'm pretty sure there's junior engineers that will disagree with me on that topic, but I don't care. Having that outlet for that small little bit of creative writing or that creative technical aspects and trying to get your words out in as few, trying to get your thought conveyed as simplistically as you can without overbloating the conversation and bogging down with, something. There was a podcast by the name of Radical Candor that talked about I teach young engineers how to do their job sometimes when I'm not in a terrible mood. And it's always a challenge, or like, I'm sure you've run into similar things. Not everybody learns the same, so you try to teach in a way that is both hands-on and hands-off at the same time. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. If you're working on a technical aspect, I find that it works better that way. Frustrates some people, but I'm like, look, there's only so much I can do. If we all learned the same, it would be so much easier, but we do not. Yep. That's exactly what it comes down to. So I write. So I've always had a secondary hobby of understanding how like the YouTube algorithm works and understanding how education is being passed down right now. One of the things that is challenging about education is that you have to compete with like TikTok and other videos. Short form eye attention, grabbing a person's attention often works best. So on the company side, we tried to come up with one page helpers is what I call them, where you have just one page to kind of describe a task. And by one page, I mean one PowerPoint slide. And then we try to keep anything video learning down to, well, I do. If this works, we're going to start keeping it down to under 10 minutes and showing like an actual example of where something worked like it. if I get to be in charge for a day. It has its ups and its downs, but it's reaching the people quickly. Um, just because I mean, it doesn't work for everybody, but it is effective for a good chunk of people. And it's a good way for people to go back and see what's going on with videos. Because, I mean, a lot of the process is the same. It's just, it's going to bother me. You okay? Okay. Just heard her swap at something. You can see how pink the Caucasian skin is in comparison to what I had on there. God. It's definitely going to need a brown. Definitely going to need a brown. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. But his wings are looking different, and they're looking nicer. 9 million thin layers later, and guess what? You too can have a wing that looks this great. It's easy to understand why people like using, why some companies are switching up to the triads. My wet palette is being frustrated right now and drying up too fast. Thank you, Southern Heat. I have my overhead fan on, and it's. I did not realize how much that would actually dry my wet palette out when I moved my office. Mm-hmm. Get you to. Can I convince you to lay down for just a little bit longer? Thank you. Thank you. Good paper. Hmm. We're definitely gonna have to come back and work on his wings later. Because unfortunately the cruel clock tick-tock world requires my attention tomorrow. I must report in for work. Do I want to report in for work? No. Do I have to report in for work? Yes. Hopefully we'll have a charge number for that project and I can go be busy on it. Do I want to be busy on the project? Ooh. Do I have to? Yes. Let's brush out. Put it down. Grab your other brush that you used tonight. Put it down. Did you use another brush? You did use another brush. You used your 3 brushes tonight. And that is going to have to call it for me for the evening. I don't usually do raids because you usually announce like the one person that you're raiding with. I'm still smidge like concerned about that one. But I shall return tomorrow night. Thank you for hanging out with me, Zombie. It's different being on this side. But it is fun because you're really interesting, and working over in Japan must be exciting sometimes and boring sometimes. That one lady's videos on YouTube are really interesting too. Thank you for stopping in. Kittler, it's good to see you. I hope you're lurking well. And you all have a lovely Monday when it comes around. Have a great week. And remember, everybody loves you. We'll do a little grumpy heart. Zoom your camera out and makes your life easier. And you can do a little grumpy heart. Have a good night, all.